Thank you so much. Can you start with telling us your name and your role in Sleepy the Magical Bear, please?
Okay, so my name is Eliza, and I've been an animator and kind of a video editor for some scenes in Sleep the Magical Bear.
Wow, okay. So, Eliza, how did you go about getting the role? Talk us through that, or two roles, I should say, actually.
So I found this project through a site called mandy.com, and they were asking for illustrators and animators, and I was strong in my illustration skills, so I applied for that, and I mentioned that, oh, I can do other things as well, and they weren't looking for as many illustrators as they were looking for video editors and animators. So they're like, oh, is it okay if you do these things? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And I started with like some Photoshop stuff, like some editing, just like pictures, and then I had to move a swing to make some animation, and then I ended up doing an entire scene on my own.
So, Eliza, how have you found this? How have you found this whole project? Has this been your first time like doing something like editing, doing photos, and doing animation? Like, has this been your first time doing this, or have you done this before?
I've graduated actually doing film and television, so I've did animation before, but I think this was like the biggest project I've ever been on in terms of talking to people, receiving materials from others, because I was used to being more of a self, like on only my project, only my
Yeah.
things. So I expected to draw my own stuff, to have my own music, to find everything on myself, but I kept receiving files, so all I had to do is like compile everything. Yeah, and
Right.
it was interesting. It was very interesting, and I
Have,
learned a lot as well.
have you? Have you enjoyed it as well?
Yes, there were times when I was so sleepy, though, but I did enjoy the entire process. It was very nice.
Is there anything that any kind of scene that you've done or character that you've done or photo that you like what's been your most important thing or most thing that you've found that you've really enjoyed the most that you've been working on? It could be a
I
scene, anything.
I think the thing I enjoyed most is the character Monsoon, which is like the hedgehog, because it was
Ah,
the first animal that I've animated from all of them. So it was really interesting to see how it actually worked, making its mouth move, making him look like more alive, you know, and making him move around and all that. So it just kind of stuck to me, because after that, all the other characters, they were just placed around him. So I would take him as a reference. It's like, oh, this is the hedgehog I have to look forward to.
oh wow, that sounds amazing. Do you have like as you've been part of Sleepy, is there where can you see like where do you see Sleepy's future going? Like where can you see it going, having been part of it yourself?
I mean, I think this was a very, how is it called? When you put like a lot of resources into something,
Mm,
it's a really big project. I forgot the word. It was a very nice word that I forgot for. And
we'll
I
come
think
back.
this is the base for something bigger, because it shows what you can do with like this was like a volunteering job, right? So people
Yeah,
just gave the time they had and the resources they had. So it was everything was built through like willpower. And
yeah,
it ended up, I don't know how it ended up, but like from the looks of it, like it's a really grand thing. It looks almost as if people were paid for it, and the scheduling and the like the organization itself, like it kept building while the scenes were being made. So I
mm,
think like for something that didn't have like, I mean, it had a solid base, like it had the books, but it didn't have
yeah,
like something really rigorous to stick to. It
yeah.
turned out very nice. So for the future, if it's like more into organizing and actually like having resources for it, it can like grow exponentially.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
already started very good. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can put like this has been like a stepping stone almost, I guess, isn't it? Like, and I've seen clips, and it is like what you've done, and like it's like the man management is amazing. Like, it's just it's so professional. It's so it just looks incredible. I always wondered what it would look like, but when I actually saw, I've only seen a few clips. When I've seen the clips, it's been above anything that I've imagined, and I've been like, wow. I said Savers, it is incredible. Like people are so their time and effort that everyone's put into this, and it's so creative, and everyone's treated it like a really professional job. And I think it's really nice because it's been a lot of people's firsts. like sounds like it's kind of your first in some ways of doing it on a project like this. I wrote the songs and I've sung the songs, so this is my first time being on a project like this, and it's really nice that we can all be like on a project with our first for something that's so incredible, but also like for a really great reason as well, because like everyone feels like, you know, what can you add as a creative being to the pandemic, and it's like being,
Yeah.
you know, like being able to use your creativity in this way to something for something really like worthwhile. It's such a good thing, like, so we're all working together. I think it's really nice as well because lots of people have made contacts. Like, have you felt like you've made some good contacts, like going
Yeah, as well. I think like this was a chance for everyone to like prove themselves, you know, because there were so many who didn't have like a background on it, or even if they had a background, they didn't have like experience to be like in the industry, let's say. So this is really a stepping stone and a very unique chance, let's say.
Thank you so much